Let me allow you watch this Hausa man, this Northerner, of course a Muslim to be precise, who has come to terms with the reality that it doesn't make sense to say America should not come here to decimate bandits, Fulani militias, terrorists. Just as every other Nigerian has spoken, that we are in support of federal government move to strategically partner with the American government to get rid of terrorism in Nigeria. Because the man actually acknowledged that the terrorism we see in Nigeria is killing both Christians, Muslims, and other people who are not in the two major religions in Nigeria. But he accepted clearly that it makes sense for America to step in to decimate them. Listen to him as we come back to further this conversation.
Yes, there is Christian genocide in Nigeria. If we take a look at what is happening in Plateau State, what is happening in Benue State, Taraba and others. But why the Christian communities or some of the Christians decide to appeal to the United States of America? Because they know they are right. And maybe the involvement of President Trump will help even we Muslims that are not terrorists and that we are against these Fulani herdsmen and what they were doing. Maybe we will get peace in the future, because we are the most target of terrorists. But we show that those terrorists are still our brothers. This is what most of the Islamic clerics and Islamic scholars here in northern part of Nigeria are saying in their mosques. This is the truth. Even the federal government doesn't have any target, doesn't have any plan till today to fight those Fulani herdsmen. And the action which President Trump you take, this is a great action. This is a great action someone has ever taken against terrorism. Today, if a Fulani herdsman enter into your farm, when you say, hey, why did you enter into my farm? Their response is to weaponize themselves with arms, knife, or even AK-47 attacks and kill you in your own property. This is what they were doing. This is the pact. So what Christians have said, yes, there is Christian genocide. Many Christians have been killed by those Fulani herdsmen. I welcome the United States or America into Nigeria if their goal is to eliminate those terrorist groups, because Nigerian government is not ready to do that. It's not ready. This is the real what is happening. No one has rights in this country than Fulani people. I don't know why. I am their blood. But what is happening is no religion. Islam doesn't have anything to do with those Fulani herdsmen. Any group of terrorism, they will just claim the name of Islam to badname the Islam, to badname the Holy Prophet. And they don't even know how to pray. They were not fasting, but they will say they are planning. They are Muslims. So I'm not against President Trump. This is the truth. And I have one advice to the United States government. You have to investigate clearly. There is politicians in the north, a plenty politicians that were linked and connected with those terrorist groups. They are helping them. They are in many ways. In many ways, we see them together. They were negotiating. No one will welcome you to the government house, but you will see a governor welcoming a terrorist group to the government house. And after 3 days, they will start attacking every village, killing innocent life. Why? We have to stand and speak the truth what is going on. They know they are right. As we Muslims, we don't know our right. If we know our right, we are the first people to stand up against those people and to appeal to everywhere to this, in this world that we need help. So let them do it. They have right to do it. We are the people who are supposed to do this. We didn't do it. Many of us looking at those planet men as their own Muslim brothers. They were not. This is the reality. You can assassinate me. You can do whatever you want. If you never stop this, your mentality. Looking at terrorists who's shedding the human blood like mosquito. If you never stop claiming them your own brothers, Islam will never get peace. This is the truth. This is the only truth. In my state, before Boko Haram start killing everybody, when they start bombing the churches. Most of us people were happy of what they were doing. They are destroying the Christian churches. We are saying yes, they did well. After they finished with the churches, they turned to the mosque, killing thousands and thousands of people. We didn't do anything. We are asking those corrupted leaders to come and fight against terrorists. Will they do that? While they are using those terrorists as the shields, and they were using them in their political system. So if you, the United States, will support to eliminate those Fulani terrorist group, I'm happy with that. And secondly, our main problem in northern Nigeria is Izala. There is one Izala to be the Kamiti Sunnah, an Islamic group. Those people are the first people to preach in the wrong way that made people carrying weapons turned against their brothers until today. And most of them are linked to that terrorist. This is the truth. Before the establishment of Izala, that is, the Christians and Muslims in northern Nigeria, their relation is like a twins brothers relation. They have to stop. You have to stop this Izala. Erika, Ishia, all of those groups, you have to stop them. This is the fact.
I think it's becoming increasingly clear that people are gradually realizing that this is not about religion. This is not about Christianity or Islam. It's about the sanctity of life. It's about the protection of lives and property of Nigerians. Because we have seen a wave of insecurity occasioned by Fulani militias in Zamfara State, in Katsina State, in Plateau State, in Benue State, in, of course, the recent one in Kwara State. And more so, as we have even seen another Hausa man who came out clearly to say that going forward, that the Fulanese should not be the one representing their interests to meet with Mr. President. You remember that the president had meeting with the Sultan of Sokoto recently, and we understand that the Sultan of Sokoto is the head of Supreme Council of Islamic Affairs, an umbrella body that encompasses all Muslims in Nigeria. But from what this Hausa man is saying, that going forward, that the Hausas should have a way of interfacing with Mr. President to make their case. Because according to him, that the Hausas are the ones at the receiving end of the issue of banditry. He clearly accused the Fulani of orchestrating it. And not surprised anyway, he didn't come to me with surprise because I already know that the Fulanis are the one orchestrating it. Because it has been established that the Fulani militia of Nigerian extraction is the fourth most deadliest terrorist group in the world. So to that extent, nobody is in doubt about the dangerous trend that the Fulani militias portend. What is only worrisome is the way and manner people are rising in their defense. Because from what we are seeing currently, it's just exposed what people may have been doing behind the scene. Because since Donald Trump came up with this idea, we are seeing increasingly people from the north who are sympathetic to issue of banditry, who perhaps may be covertly sponsoring terrorism, coming out clearly to back the terrorists diplomatically by saying that Trump or rather America should not come here to fight, claiming that we are a sovereign nation. And I want to say that it is very clear, Trump did not say he is coming to fight Nigerian government. Trump did not say he's coming to fight peace-loving Nigerians, patriotic Nigerians. His message is clear, that they are coming to fight Islamic terrorists. And I want to say that what Trump called Islamic terrorists is the same thing we know as Fulani militias in Nigeria, Boko Haram, ISWAP, and Saudi terrorist group. If you even want to go further into their personal identities, the likes of Toji Bello, Ada Aleru, Akwashi that operates in the Faskadi local government area of Katsina State, these are the characters that Trump says he's coming to fight. And I continue maintaining one position, that if we have all agreed that those killing people in Zamfara, those killing people in Katsina, in Kwara, in Taraba, in Benue, in Plateau, in Southern Kaduna should be killed. So why are we not worried who killed them? So it's going to imply that even if Nigerian government kill them, it's a legitimate thing to say or to do. Even if it happens from American angle or any other of our foreign partner, for me, is legitimate. Because Nigeria have seen the worst level of insecurity in the recent time. And the best bet is to say, hence, we don't have the capacity to do this. We are seeing a foreign partner that has the capacity, that have been proven that they can do it. Why not we partner with them to do this? Because as far as I'm concerned, life is sacrosanct. We don't have what it takes to create life as human. So we must do everything humanly possible within the ambits of the law to ensure that we protect that lives and properties of Nigerians. Because you begin to wonder, how can you explain a situation where the bandits or called the terrorists are already using drones? Because this is a statement that, of course, a position of the Borno governor recently, that Boko Haram is already using drones to attack the military. So you see that there is already new emerging trend of threats that demand for urgent and immediate action, because as far as I'm concerned, if we don't step up our action and intelligence to develop new strategies to police our airspace, it's going to give us a very big issue. Because one, we are talking about thinking out of the box, leveraging on technology to fight this insurgency. And as we are having that conversation, Boko Haram is already advancing in their own technology, using drone to attack the military. And we have a partner who have the competence, the ability to doing this. Some people will be saying they should not come. Or can we forget in a hurry how American government in 2020 came to Nigeria to rescue a 27-year-old for the wanted who was kidnapped in Niger, taken to Sokoto State here in Nigeria. They came here through their Navy seas. With their expertise, they rescued the guy on hot. And I want to say that if we allow them to help us, they have the capacity and competence to doing it. Because the situation where bandits are already turning celebrities in Nigeria, I must say it's unacceptable. Because if bandits come out from the bushes, the forests, their abodes, fully armed in what they call negotiation, and after the negotiation, they go back to their enclaves with the same arm. Nobody is disarming them. So what are we saying? It means we are already running a sovereignty, which is Nigerian sovereignty. It means the coercive power of federal government is already being shared with the Fulani militias. And these are people who have no value for human life, as can be seen from their operation, how they disally people, how they maim kill, kidnap for ransom, and all of that. And even the argument of some persons who argue that the insurgency is as a result of maybe global change, global warming, and people tending to move toward the south, and poverty. I want to say that it has nothing to do with poverty. Because people who wield weapons like AK-47, more than AK-47, you begin to wonder the amount to buy such weapon is not someone that is poor that can procure it. And if you even cast your mind back to the position of Muhammadu Buhari in his time as president when he was alive, when he had interface with Trump in the first time of Trump's presidency as the president of the United States of America, Buhari made it very clear that most of the bandits are foreigners from Libya, from Burkina Faso, from Niger, and all of that, that when Gaddafi fell, that the only one they had is how to shoot gun. The only training they had is how to shoot gun. And that most of them find their way in Nigeria, and that is part of the consequence of what we face as a people. Or can we call forget in a hurry how someone from the north made it emphatically clear that they brought the Fulani militias into this country to remove a Jonathan from office. So now that a Jonathan is already out of office, I think somebody should be bold enough to tell them that the evil they created, they should find a way to get them out of every inch of Nigerian territorial integrity. As far as I'm concerned, the message is simple. I encourage federal government of Nigeria and I encourage every patriotic Nigerian to support Nigerian government in their quest to acquire monopoly of currency power, to spot the bandits out of their hiding places, set their running and bring them to justice. But as far as I'm concerned, it's a legitimate thing to neutralize bandits in the battlefield. That's why I continue praying and hoping that the last of Toji Bello, Ada Areru, Akwashi, and every other bandit that their name may not be in the public space must be arrested and prosecuted to add a deterrent to others. Alternatively, must be neutralized in the battlefield. Because they must have a taste of the might of the Nigerian sovereign states. Because the same measure they give to other people, they must have it in full. Because how can you explain a situation where you create a window through which they will repent and be reunited into the society? You are not considering and looking at the military personnel who died in their hands. You are not considering the life of Nigerians who they have disallived. And somebody will tell you, of course, I think I go with the position of a former governor of Kaduna State who was emphatic that bandits do not repent. That the only repentant bandit is one that have died. That is one of option is to disallow all of them, send them to the creator who had the ultimate power to join them. I want to believe that his position is very potent and very what Nigerian government should follow. Because if you look at the whole issue holistically, I think what is happening is gradually laying credence to the position of that retired intelligent military officer who made it very clear that the ultimate aim of those who sponsor terrorism in Nigeria is to Islamize this country. I want to say that the current position of some Northerners, as we have it, is already pointing to that direction. Because ordinarily, one would have expected that, hence, bandits, Fulani militias are a problem for everybody, both Christians and Muslims. That everybody should join hands to encourage any government of the world that is interested in helping Nigeria to neutralize them. But what are we seeing currently? Seeing governments, seeing individuals from the north rising to say, no, America cannot come to Nigeria, that Nigeria is a sovereign state. You can even imagine someone saying that it is a lesser evil for bandits to be adopting Nigerians than for America to come here, start ransacking our communities, to start killing bandits. The same person has even made it clear that Nigeria is currently fighting a tribal war between the Fulanis and other people. The federal government is supposed to remain neutral. Talking about Shegumi, you need to wonder, begin to ask, where do you see tribal war? People who wield gun, who bear gun unconstitutionally. The constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is very clear that if you are not a security personnel, or perhaps of Nigerian police, Air Force, Navy, Army, name it, any of the parliamentary agencies for that matter, that you are not empowered to bear arms. Now you have people who are bearing arms illegally, and somebody is there making case for them, telling the world that even when they negotiate, they should allow them to retain their arm. You need to ask, who now owns the sovereignty of the state, of Nigerian sovereign states? Because if you look at what is happening in Zamfara, in Katsina in particular, it's a worrisome trend. A situation where people will come out in form of negotiation. After negotiation, they go back to their abodes to the same arm. So who is now having the sovereignty of the state? Though we understand that the federal government have since initiated the issue of forest guard, but I want to encourage those states that are heavily ravaged by this issue of insecurity occasioned by Fulani militias to jump at this federal government initiative of forest guard. As far as I'm concerned, I've been a very strong advocate that the governors should not just be going about with the name of the governors and the chief security officers of their respective states. Hence, the constitution gives them the constitutional rights, power to protect lives and property in their respective jurisdictions. Because to have it, going by section 14, subsection 2B of 1999 constitution as amended, is very clear that the welfare of the people and their security shall be the primary purpose of governance. And as we have it, the governors, the chairman of the local government, the chairman of the 774 local governments, the 36 state governors, and even Mr. President have in their respective capacities sworn an oath to protect lives and properties of Nigerians. So if the governor do not command the security sector in his state, and he's lamenting, so we understand that there is every need to reject the security architecture or even to reject the constitution to give them a role to play. That is why I particularly say, let the governors who are governing those states of Kwara, Katsina, Zamfara, Plateau, Kaduna, jump at this opportunity of forest guard. Because federal government have since given them the nod that go ahead, engage between 2,000 and 5,000 personnel. And more so, our federal government have promised that they will be adequately trained. And before now, we have seen the data of DSS talking about Ajayi, who come out clearly to say that communities should be empowered to be the first line of defense in case of invasion. And I want to believe that that in a way helped to shape the mind of the president when Mr. President arrived at the option of forest guard, even when he said at some point that he's likely going to give and attention to issue of state police. But I must say that as a people, as a country, we must defeat this issue of terrorism. Personally, I am in support of every genuine move of federal government to acquire monopoly of currency power, to support the bandits out of the hiding places, set them running, and bring them to justice. That's why I was particularly happy when I saw federal government going to sign documents to procure about 24 fighter jets from Italy. And of course, when we only saw the news of federal government's intention to buy about 49 fighter jets, we were all happy for it. Because as a country, as a people, we must strive to protect the lives and properties of Nigerians. That is the only way people can live in peace. Because even the whole idea of trying to go and woo investors to come into our economy, if the society is not well policed, you have a situation where there is atmosphere of fear, of insecurity. I want to say that all effort of federal government wooing investors will be a mirage. Because definitely no investor want to bring his investment, his money into an economy where it's not certain, where there's uncertainty. Where you cannot guarantee the safety of the person you are bringing in. Sometimes we understand that they are expatriates. You cannot guarantee the safety of the infrastructure you are putting on ground. Of course, it will amount to risking your money. So that is why we need to fight the insecurity, stamp it out of every inch of Nigeria's territorial integrity, so that we can have investors coming in to do business here in Nigeria. I must say very thank you for your time at this point. This is Islamic and I'm Mr. Matu.